What's happening, everybody? So, as you know, times are a little unique and a changing, but that being said, there's something that I miss, and that's sharing wine with y'all more than anything. So I'm making these fun little videos about the wines we're currently selling so you guys can get a little bit more insight and feel like some semblance of normalcy when you used to sit at the bar and I would wax poetic or talk for hours about a wine, even when you didn't ask for it. So that's what we're gonna do here, and we're gonna have a good time with it. It's a perfect day. It's absolutely breathtaking outside. I've broken into a local pool. Don't tell anybody. And the neighbors are out of town, so I don't think I'm going to get busted. But that being said, I think we should taste some wine. I know it's quarantine. I know it's lockdown. And I know you all are drinking in great abundance, myself included. Don't worry. It's okay. You're forgiven. But I feel a little awkward. I've got a glass. It's empty. And I think it's time we taste some juice. You in? All right. Let's start here, guys. This is going to be Cuvee A Amrita from Amie. As you all know, I have a deep love affair with the Willamette Valley. Great friends out there, as well as phenomenal juice coming from the landscape itself. And to me, is one of the biggest pieces of pride in our wine scene domestically. Amie themselves, experimentation people, but also straight to the point. Been making wine for quite some time in the Willamette now, and this little guy is basically, to me, summer encapsulated in a bottle. Their Pinots are exceptional. I highly recommend you seeking them out. But if you're looking for that poolside, just power-crushing tropical juice, the Amrita, which means ambrosia or nectar of the gods, is the go-to. This guy is a cavalcade of grapes. They basically threw the kitchen sink in here. We got Riesling, we got Müller-Thurgau, we got Pinot Blanc, we got a little bit of Chardonnay, we got some Viognier, we got some Gewürz, Pinot Meunier even. All this is thrown together, guys, in percentages. It's fermented in stainless steel. It's left with a little SO2. Originally being a still wine, they jabbed it up to get a little bit more frisant, almost petulant character out of it. And so now it's crown cap rather than Stelvin. And it just drinks like an utter champ. Pop it off. You get a little bit of that. I'm going to pour up. Gorgeous little frothy bubs coming out the glass. And already from here, man, I'm not even lying, y'all. I can smell little bits of acacia flower, hints of pineapple, and basically the feeling I would have had when I landed in Maui, which I didn't get to do. Thanks a lot, COVID. Sorry, I'm a little bitter. But seriously, sticking your nose in. Totally some red fruit, surprisingly, which can happen in white wines. Do not feel weird if you note red fruits in white wine. That's totally a doable thing. I get a little membrillo or quince paste that you might eat when you're next time traveling to Spain. Don't worry, we will be allowed to travel again. But also mango, papaya, guava, a little bit of biscuitiness. Almost like a soft wafer cracker. Savory wafer, not sweet wafer. That's something I should definitely clarify. What about a little taste? It's quarantine. We're not spitting right now, and oh my god, just the softest amount of white flower perfume, little bits of white gummy bear, but never to the sweetness, just that like pineapple-y tinge that we love. Definitely some good pear and orchard fruit in there as well, but crisp, clean, never leaning sweet, and just sitting utterly refreshing. This guy is a total no-brainer. It's on the list right now. I highly recommend you pick a couple bottles up because as the sunshine keeps going, stick this in the garden while you plant your new crops for the season and just drink it up. It's the way to be. You need some hydration when you're in the sun. This will do the trick. Amie, Amrita, currently on the list at Aviary. Definitely recommend you check it out. Whew. Wow. So I'm going to finish this very quickly. Probably a bad idea, but this is for you. This is for content. This is for your happiness. I want you guys to be happy. So watch me chug. All right. It'll make you burp. The bubbles make you burp. Moving on, y'all. What's next in Alex's bag o' tricks? Boom. Sorry for the nipple shot there, but it's not like we haven't seen him before. Free the nip. What we have next, a little Grecian. I was fortunate enough, as y'all know, at this point, wow, was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, my brother and I went on a trip that we had postponed for a very long period of time. We had originally intended to travel around Europe together when I was studying abroad, but then unforeseen circumstances caused us to have to put that on pause. We promised ourselves that no matter what, we would come back and make some kind of journey as a duo. Well, when my brother finally had the opportunity to step away from his life as a private chef in Maui, and I was so blessed by the Aviary crew to be able to step away while they maintained my responsibilities, we traveled over to Greece and basically did it up dirty. We went from island to island to island, touches of the mainland, just exploring all that there was about Grecian culture. Needless to say, if my brother's a chef and I'm working in the wine industry, we ate like kings and I drank like a fish. Little insight about Greece, a lot of the best bottles are actually going to be the things that you purchase straight from the restaurant itself. Liter bottles on the table are always good go-to. They probably have a house Assyrtiko, they might have a house Malagousia, whatever they have going on, or Mavno Daphne. Usually rely on those because oftentimes it's made by somebody that knows the family. They do bottlings, but they sell off this juice to them so that they have house wine that is exceptional and a tremendous value. However, now that we're back in the States, I came back with this just total affinity for Grecian wines, this love affair, and this ability to transport myself back to the salty goodness that is Grecian air and island air by drinking Grecian wines. Mercouri Estate is located down in southern Greece, right along the Peloponnesian coast, and they're very close to Olympia and making really exceptional wines that do exactly what I just mentioned. Give you a chance to feel teleported over to the islands or even to the coastal mainland and have that kind of blue zone experience. If you don't know what I mean by blue zone, look it up so you can live to be 102 as well. This little bottle, the Kallisto, is a blend of predominantly Assyrtiko, a salty little variety that has great vibrancy and citrus and minerality, and then some Ribolla. So Ribolla in Italy is known as Ribolla Gialla. In Slovenia, it's known as Rebula. But here in Greece, they call it Robola, and it's usually a fuller bodied, kind of fat, plump style of grape in the wines that it produces. I really enjoy Ribolla with a little skin contact, which they did here, and we'll get to that. But that little skin contact just offers up so much more textural complexity, and as an orange wine, which you all know I love, it is definitely one of the champion grapes. If you ever have a couple of dollars or shekels to shell out in an indulgence during this time, find yourself some Gravner or ask me to special order you some. If I can get my hands on some Gravner Ribolla, it is basically your prized bottle of white Burgundy in your cellar. That is what it is to orange wine, Gravner's Ribolla. Look it up. On that note, let's taste a little Mercouri. So these guys produce this wine. It is going to be fermented all in stainless steel. Oh, God, look at that color. Fermented entirely in stainless steel. It does see some surly, aka aging on the lees, which generally is done to add more texture to wines. Yeast cells, obviously, the basic equation for all wine, as we know, is sugars plus yeast equal alcohol and CO2. However, yeast are like Pac-Man. The difference is Pac-Man could eat for all eternity if the ghosts weren't chasing him. Yeast get full. They die. They hit their breaking point. And once they hit that breaking point, basically it's all she wrote. They then fall to the bottom and become texture enhancements for all intents and purposes. Some people love to pull off the lees or pull off the second it's finished fermenting. Others like to leave it in for a little bit more added texture and complexity. It's all up to winemakers' personal choices, them knowing their varieties, them knowing exactly what's best for their vintage and experimenting where they can and how they can. This little guy, though, with that 80% Assyrtiko and 20% Ribolla, they are fermented separately and then blended. So it's separate vinifications, and they probably change the percentage if I were to estimate year over year, depending on how well the Ribolla did versus how well the Assyrtiko did. This guy's little bit of time on the lees, as well as just a touch of skin contact, which is why you get not a fully translucent wine, but a little touch of haze, a little touch of pigmentation of that kind of golden yellow. Woo-wee. Okay, so elderflower all day. If I have Saint Germain fans out there, this nose is going to make you fall in love. Imagine your French 75 topper just screaming out of the glass in perfect abundance, because it is so much like a French 75, the way that it also has a ton of really cool citrus tones. I'm getting zested clementine. I'm definitely getting a little bit of orange peel. It is extremely floral. I will give everybody that warning, but I love floral wines because it reminds me of spring, and spring has sprung, as we all can see. I'm in a pool. Find yourself a pool. Break into a pool. There's no laws right now. No laws. Don't worry about it. Let's take a taste. Woo! Zap! Like literally just zap. Right off the bat, this shock of electrified acid hits you. Kind of wakes you up. Kind of like when you used to be in the back of the bus. I used to sit in the back of the bus. and stick your tongue on the batteries because you're an idiot. Yeah, back when all your friends were proving how tough they were. Yeah, it got a little bit of that kind of kicking right off the start, which is nice. It's refreshing. It's not so masochistic as the battery move, but it does definitely wake your palate and kind of shock it a touch. From there, though, that electricity kind of dissipates and you slowly start to see a little bit more richness come out. There's an unctuous note in there for sure of more of those kind of starfruit tendencies. And then it kind of dances between notes of that orange zest, as I mentioned prior, a little bit of melon, probably more green melon, clean, not watery like melon can be, more of just that kind of big, fleshy, meaty fruit. And then on the actual tail end, it finishes extremely oceanic. A lot of kind of like sea mist, driving to the beach, roll the windows down, let the air hit, kick on the Springsteen. Yes, everyone should listen to Springsteen and just let it rip. To me, I think this is a perfect bottling for right now. We need a little sunshine in our lives. We can't necessarily travel. It's not safe to go to beaches. Anyone that's going to a beach is probably not being in the best advised ideas. So why not create the things we're longing for inside the glass? The Kallisto is definitely available for sale with us right now. We're going to carry it for a little bit, guys. Just a chance to kind of transport yourself to Greece and have some fun. All right. So those 2 wines. They were good. They're real good. You should drink them. You should buy them and drink them. Probably should buy them. I mean, don't break an Aviary and steal them. But that being said. All right, y'all. One little bonus wine that we have in the bag as well is going to be the M de Mulonnière from Château de la Mulonnière. Located in Anjou and producing wine since the 1860s. Château de la Mulonnière is a fun little example of how cool Chenin Blanc can be. Loire Valley, one of my favorite areas, as you know, mostly Loire Valley Cabernet Franc, but you guys have seen some Loire Valley Gamay from me, from the Côte de Lyonnaise. You've seen Pinot and Gamay from the Côte de Genevois. You've also seen a lot of Chenin Blanc, mostly Vouvray. However, we've played around with other areas as well. We've definitely championed some Sancerre. So if you just loved every word I said, then you love the Loire Valley and you fucking rock. So here's a thumbs up to you and your love affair with the fellow Loire Valley as myself. This little guy, Chenin Blanc, is all hand harvested. It's 100% Chenin Blanc. It is vinified, as they say, slow and low. That is the tempo. In order to extract the most amount of complexity and character from the wine itself. All stainless steel, no mention of barrel anywhere in sight, as far as I can tell. And then it does see a little bit of extended time on the skins because you do see that little color. Now, again, when we're talking about time on the skins and you get a color like this, you're talking maybe a couple hours at max. You're not talking the longevity to produce an orange wine, which is usually days into weeks into months. We'll get into the specifications and preferences on orange wine once we taste some orange wines, which is 100% going to happen because I like orange wine. I'm going to get a little nose on this and see what happens. So, okay, so 100% Chenin Blanc, blind away. You get that gorgeous kind of baked apple, a little bit of soft spice pear, mostly Asian pear spice. There's definitely going to be some stoniness in there, mostly wet stone, a little hint of flint, in my opinion, like when you first strike that match. Whether it's to clear a room or it's to light your cigar, either way, it's for the same reason. I also love the fact that it's got a little bit of almost like autumn notes, you know, a little bit of crushed leaf. Definitely going to be a little bit more of that autumnal spice without ever going sweet. It still stays savory for sure. More like pumpkin spice, but not in some Starbucks shitbag way, you know what I mean? Sorry for cursing. Nah. Oh, on the palate. Oh, wow. Yeah, yep. Hold on. Ugh. It's just too good. It's just too good. Wow. So, like, just a cornucopia of really cool, like, autumn fruits, like orchard fruits. Definitely going to be some soft pear again that's going to come through. You're totally going to see that yellow and golden baked apple. A little bit of honey crisp in there as well. There is some herbal honey tones, too, but there's this really cool back-end spice of almost like white and green peppercorn that leans into a little soft, not vegetal, but spicy tonality. And I really love the way that it coats the mouth. I mean, it has a viscosity that just is like watching a lava lamp, but it's inside your mouth. So you're the same way you were captivated smoking those doobies back in the day is the same way this will captivate your palate. You'll just feel it kind of wash the entirety across and demand a second sip. Actually, you know what? Speaking of that, a second sip is most in order. This wine is definitely a value play where it gives up a little bit more than what you would expect. Maybe a little bit fuller bodied for the middle of the day drinking we're all doing right now. But once that sun sets and that cool breeze starts kicking in, crack this on your patio, sit outside, listen to the birds chirp, pray for more fireflies, and power chug like a champion. A great wine. I would highly recommend on this one if you're going to pair it with some richer, like grill off some salmon and do some really cool stuff. Smoking this, I feel like would go beautifully. So if you want to smoke anything or ash coat anything, that could be really fun. It's a no-brainer. Any poultry would be beautiful. Wow. Yeah, this wine is drinking. It is drinking. If you have any questions, guys, or you want to pick it up, don't hesitate to hop on Toast and order a bottle, order a few. I don't have a lot, so it is limited supply, so get it while you can. And once again, keep on drinking. All right? Sorry, you should probably watch me drink before I end this.